Why are cats associated with being gods of destruction exactly? Ah, that's why. I put it up to my paid Patreons to vote for who my next power scaling video would be on. Neither did. So I made a choice. We're making Noir fight someone again. Beerus, the god of destruction. Who wins? Who dies? Will Beerus reduce Adrian to dust? Or will my comment section have enough angry Dragon Ball fans to feed the YouTube algorithm's family? I hope you're as excited to find out as I am. Starting off with the character Akira Toriyama created when he decided to bring the series back. Beerus, the god of destruction. I will be sticking to the canon Dragon Ball timeline with a focus on the manga, by the way. In Dragon Ball, there are 12 universes that comprise the multiverse, ruled over by the childish Omni King, Zeno. Each of these universes is governed by a Supreme Kai and a god of destruction, balancing the forces of creation and destruction in that universe. There used to be 6 other universes, but Zeno erased them. Each universe is presented as a sphere, with the lower half comprising the physical universe as we know it, and the higher half being the realm of the gods, with hell in between them. While there may be confusing statements, such as the idea that there is a north, south, west, and east galaxy to correspond with the lesser Kais who rule them, these universes have been confirmed to contain countless galaxies. And within Universe 7, we find what may be the most powerful of the gods of destruction, Beerus. Having served as Universe 7's god of destruction for millions of years, Beerus is the most feared being there, responsible for many an unimaginable number of deaths and destruction, though he's rather flippant about it and sometimes can sleep for decades without doing anything, even delegating his job of destruction to others, like telling Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta. And we still don't really know how strong he really is. At some point, he was taught martial arts by Whis, who might be the only resident of Universe 7 stronger than him. Besides that, it's become something of a running joke that, no matter what happens, Beerus is still stronger. Like most Dragon Ball characters, Beerus uses Ki to battle. As a god of destruction, he has access to God Ki, and beyond that, the energy of destruction. This powers the Destroyer's signature move, Hakai, which can instantly destroy almost anything, wiping it from existence, even ghosts and incorporeal entities. It cannot, however, destroy immortals. Hakai can be used at range, such as with Beerus' Wrath of the God of Destruction, but in this form, it's possible to defend against it more effectively. Beerus fights in a manner one would expect from Dragon Ball characters, utilizing high-level martial arts as well as the power to fly and manipulate Ki into various destructive blasts and attacks. He's knowledgeable on pressure points and is capable of knocking people out simply by landing precise attacks on them. He's also the only god of destruction that has shown skilled use of Ultra Instinct, allowing him to dodge attacks without conscious thought, making hitting him quite an ordeal to attempt. He can also use Ultra Ego, which boosts his power even more as he focuses on destruction, because clearly what he needs is more power. So, where exactly does Beerus scale? First, let's establish how big Universe 7 is. The equivalent to our universe is the lower half of Universe 7, which, despite being drawn as a semisphere, has multiple statements confirming that it's infinite in size, so any limits we see are simply the result of being looked at from a higher scale. Beyond that, the cosmic realm we see on the upper half of the semisphere is stated to be above the mortal realm in dimensionality, which would further increase the power required to destroy one to at least infinite power on a 4D level. The power of Beerus clashing with Super Saiyan God Goku just a few times was said to have enough power to destroy Universe 7, and Beerus was lying his ass off about how much power he was using at that moment, claiming it was his full power. Despite Goku achieving Super Saiyan Blue, the Kaioken multipliers, and however many forms of Ultra Instinct there are, Beerus is still stronger. In fact, even after Black Frieza showed up and one-shot true Ultra Instinct Goku, he's still generally considered stronger. What are the multipliers this would amount to? I don't know. Well, I can make an educated guess, but I don't truly know. I've watched and read a bunch of Dragon Ball scales to research this video, and I conclude that it should be like 1,000,000. Beerus is at least a million times stronger than a 4D universe-sized construct. This would apply to his physical strength and durability, as Ki is basically a stat amplifier. There are questions raised about the true power of the macrocosm, considering Goku's instant transmission can take him into the cosmic realm, but there is a distance within the mortal universe that so far he needs multiple teleports to get to it. But given the shape of the universe, those don't seem to truly negate the idea of a difference in dimensionality, and more in there being a cosmic divide between the realms that Goku ignores when he teleports. Ki also massively improves your speed, which is significant because Dragon Ball characters like Piccolo display the ability to casually react to interstellar spaceships, putting them in the massively faster than light speeds, with the more modern characters like Gas being able to cross the universe, including that part that required Goku to teleport multiple times, in minutes. The fact that just the energy Goku and Beerus were producing alone was enough to get across the entire macrocosm to threaten to destroy it gives a pretty good argument for infinite speeds. And at some point in the past, Beerus and his brother Champa, the god of destruction of Universe 6, fought over Cake and had to be stopped because their battle risked destroying the universe. This is already within their realm of power, but it also means that they would be fast enough to fight all the way through the universe, especially given that we see them physically flying around and destroying planets while fighting each other. So Beerus has at least infinite speed, though given how Ki works, it's probably more accurate to say he's a million times faster than infinite speed. Does that even mean anything? So yeah, that's one really powerful cat. How does Chat Noir stack up? In Miraculous, there is really only one thing that exists. Gimme. Oh, there's a whole multiverse made up of at least billions of universes, but everything is, as a whole, Gimme, the Kwami and embodiment of reality. And each universe has its own aspect of Gimme to embody its existence, capable of granting a wish by recreating the universe or rewriting reality. Each of these Kwami is simultaneously experiencing existing in each of these universes as a signifier of their multiversal existence, even as they only focus on the universe they currently exist in. The main universe we follow in Miraculous Ladybug is known as the Quantic Universe. But Gimme exists in a divided form, separated into its creative and destructive halves, Tiki and Plagg. They balance each other out. When one messes up, it's the other's job to fix it. Beerus actually has a lot more in common with Plagg than I thought. They're even both lazy. Like all Kwami, they are extremely powerful beings that embody and represent different concepts, with Plagg and Tiki being the most powerful. Using the cat Miraculous, Adrian Agreste harnesses the power of Plagg to become the hero, Chat Noir. This is because it isn't safe for Kwami to use their powers on their own, as it tends to spin out of control and lead to excessively destructive outcomes, like destabilizing space-time or wiping out the dinosaurs. Plagg wiped out the dinosaurs, just like Beerus. Don't worry, they came back. Also, just like Beerus. Chat Noir's main expression of his ability is Cataclysm, which allows him to destroy anything he touches. It can destroy anything in the universe, or the universe. In Season 6, he displays the ability to use it in its ranged form, creating a ball of destruction separate from himself. An alternate universe version of Chat was able to threaten to turn the whole world into ash with a similar ability. He can also use the miraculous Cat Noir, which allows him to send the destructive energy out to target specific things, even memories, the details of which he does not need to know himself. Scaling to the Miraculous Ladybug, this should be capable of affecting the whole universe and even other timelines. Even less powerful Miraculous are shown to be able to have their power affect other universes. Speaking of other timelines, you may be wondering why I'm using Chat Noir instead of Chat Blanc. I will now direct you to this video where I make the argument that Noir should be at least as powerful as Blanc. Yes, I say this knowing Chat Blanc created a galaxy-sized cataclysm ball that was going to wipe out everything we could see in Bunnix's burrow. Bunnix wields the power of the time-controlling Rabbit Miraculous and describes the burrow that her power gives her access to as the point where all the possible streams of time of the universe meet. Ladybug, who at this point in the show had been studying the Miraculous and living with most of the Kwami, refers to the portals as leading to different space-times. Besides the Kwami themselves and the career guardians that we rarely ever see, these two would be the most knowledgeable characters on how the Bōru works. Beyond that, in the script where the Bōru was introduced, the portals are described as leading to different space-time continuums, specifically the red part. Each miraculous power is tied to the universe they're in, so the version of Bōru we see in that episode only connects to the quantic universe. These aren't alternate universes. We know this because traveling to real alternate universes is possible with the Rooster Miraculous, which cannot replicate a different Miraculous's power. Chronologically, I believe the Destruction episode and the Paris special happened on the same night, so Gabriel created his portals to other universes like 2 hours after being told he couldn't replicate another Kwami's power. This means that when all the screens are scrambling, Chat Blanc was actually about to erase all the possible space-time continuums for their universe. Destroying a space-time continuum counts as destroying a fourth dimensional structure, and destroying all the space-time continuums that would spring forth from all streams of possibility in the universe is somehow even more incomprehensible. We know he has the power to destroy the space-times and not just what's in it, because if there was still a timeline to go to, the portals wouldn't have scrambled like that. Gimi's ability to grant a wish works by destroying and recreating the universe. Despite this, when Lila made a wish that began blacking out the portals, it was described as beyond anything anyone has ever seen before. There's also the fact that Lila making the screens go black was compared to the movie that is time coming to an end. But Bunnix was still able to go back to before that. Yet Blanc erased all the screens and made her completely incapable of accessing time as a whole. The funny thing is that this might actually explain a big problem people have had with how this episode handles future Bunnix and the concept of cause and effect in the question of how she can exist if Chat Blanc killed everyone, including herself, before she became a hero. With the answer being that the Chat Blanc timeline is actually an alternate timeline to the main one. But main timeline Ladybug still had to do something about it because it would have destroyed all the timelines, and also the same thing was about to happen in the main timeline. Chat Blanc timeline Marinette wears her hair in a completely different style that is described in promotional material as
"Here's Marinette letting hers down for this gorgeous alternative look, straight out of an alternate reality. That looks stylish in every dimension."
Wait, is this the plot of the Zamasu arc? This may seem crazy, but remember, Plagg is more powerful than Fluff, the Kwami whose power is responsible for the Bōru's existence, and Sasankalki, who damaged time and space by accident when they used their powers without their holders. With all that being said, Chat Noir doesn't win this fight, like, at all. Yeah, I know this is usually the point where I go into stats and Chat's other abilities and reveal the twist that actually, yes, he is powerful enough to win this fight, but I've gone into his stats quite a lot recently, and if you've watched those videos, you know that nothing I say would put Chat above Beerus at all. That being said, there are a few things I think are worth discussing. Beerus is stronger, faster, more experienced, a better fighter, more durable. I could go on and on. I can't even pretend this would be close. Actually, I did so for my April Fool's video on my edits channel. But despite all that, there is one thing I think Chat Noir could probably do better than Beerus. The measure of their destruction, specifically comparing Hakai to Cataclysm. Chat Blanc was shown to be about to destroy multiple space-time continuums when he made his big ball Cataclysm. Now, this is where dimensionality and timelines can come together to fight over who's bigger, because at a point going beyond infinity kinda gives you infinite headaches. But I believe that destroying an infinite number of space-time continuums springing from time itself would be greater than any number of multipliers you could put up against Beerus' stats. There's also the miraculous Cat Noir, which gives Chat finer control over what he's trying to destroy. It will track down anything it's set to target, and if it's like the miraculous Ladybug, it's not bound by things like being in a different timeline or universe from its target. Could Beerus outrun it? Definitely. He is demonstrably faster than anything in Miraculous, which at best is limited to just infinite speed without any multipliers. Yeah, infinite speed. How slow? But if Beerus chooses not to run, which he definitely will. Could it destroy him? Could he destroy chat with Hakai? Miraculous suits have been shown to resist destruction on Cataclysm's level. Even after being hit with it multiple times by a villain who stole the ability from him, Chat was still able to keep fighting relatively even to his normal level, though it did notably injure him. Do not get it twisted though, a full power not held back at all Cataclysm will kill a Miraculous holder. There are examples of characters in Dragon Ball being able to resist Hakai, but you must remember that not all Hakais are made equally. Different gods of destruction and users of energy of destruction are on different levels. Just because Goku's imitation Hakai that he later admits he didn't even do correctly could be resisted, doesn't mean that characters can resist a true full power one from a god of destruction. And no one has really tested Beerus' ability to resist it. I think that Beerus would probably be able to resist it. At absolute worst, it will take a long time to eventually kill him. And, you know, none of that really matters because Beerus is just gonna punch Chat Noir's head off instantly, probably before he could even try to attack. Like I said, Chat Noir stands no chance. Now, Chat can't beat him. Can Plagg do it? Here's the thing, Plagg, by nature, is superior to Beerus. No, really. Beerus is one of the people who gained the job of God of Destruction in the 13 universes. But Plagg is the concept of destruction throughout the multiverse, stated by Tiki to have at least billions of universes within it. And he is constantly experiencing existing in all of them in a way human minds can't comprehend. He's an immortal concept that would be immune to Hakai. I mean, has Beerus ever shown he can destroy the concept of destruction? Or any concepts? But can Plagg beat Beerus? Probably. Eventually. He has the exact same power as Chat and none of the weaknesses associated with being human. Beerus is faster than anything the Miraculous Verse could throw at him, but he'd kind of have to run away forever. He can't kill Plagg. Plagg's only weakness is that he could be made unable to do anything by destroying his Miraculous, which wouldn't kill him, it would just remove his corporeal form from the battle. But that requires you to know that you have to do that, and also have the power to destroy the Miraculous, with the only thing that's been shown to be able to do so being Cataclysm. Yeah, the Miraculous can be damaged, they can even be reduced to dust, but that won't make the Kwami disappear, you need to truly destroy them. Besides, Beerus has his own version of that weakness in the form of the Supreme Kai, who, if he dies, will take Beerus with him. But who knows where he would be during all of this anyway. Both characters are kind of at an impasse because one can't hurt the other and the other is too slow to really catch the first. But if you absolutely must give one the edge, I guess you could give it to Plagg for actually having the power to potentially kill Beerus in the first place, even if he'd probably never hit him, and with the way Dragon Ball is written, he'd probably just power up way past that anyway. But yeah, Chat Noir does not stand even a shadow of a chance. Now that I've said that, I have a request. Please leave a comment below about how you're surprised that Chat won but that the explanation totally convinced you. Because I'm really curious to see how many people are gonna see this video and then immediately just jump into the comment section without watching it. Also, while you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe for more content if you enjoyed this. Shout out to my patrons, A and Skyman. Thank you, and good day.